The footage shows the destruction of Ukrainian troop installations in Stepnohursk in the Zaporizhzhia region by FAB 1,500 bombs. A mobile evacuation group of the 35th Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces opens small arms fire on a Ukrainian FPV drone in the Pokrovsk direction and then destroys the FPV drone.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Вон летит.
The movement of a Ukrainian soldier in Bogatyr was detected. Haribi was hiding in the houses. When he came out, he was attacked. Then a FPV drone carried out the final attack. The crews of T-90M tanks of the Ivanovo and Kostroma paratroopers destroyed the Ukrainian armed forces strongholds located near the settlement of Chasiv Yar in the Donetsk People's Republic, along with personnel. Near Pokrovsk, 2 Russian FPV drones hit a pickup truck of the Ukrainian armed forces. The Ukrainian soldier recorded the video from his helmet camera. Kursk region. A convoy of Ukrainian armed forces armored vehicles attempted an early morning attack in the direction of Glushkovsky. A column of 3 BMPs advanced from Pavlovka towards the Russian state border. The armored vehicles in the pursued convoy were attacked one after another. 2 armored vehicles and 1 Stryker APC were immediately dispersed during the attacks. The attack was repulsed by Russian troops. The temporary deployment point of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Delivka was destroyed by aircraft-type drone operators and artillery of the Southern Group. 8 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine were killed, and a food and ammunition depot was destroyed. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. A tense episode of the Azov unit. Ukrainian Azov unit evacuating a friend. They thought the Russians were outnumbered. In fact, they were right. The Russian soldiers were outnumbered at the time of the clash, but they attacked the Azov unit in such a way that in panic, they called for reinforcements and evacuated their wounded comrades. Russian drone ambushed and destroyed the ATV. In Konstantinovsky direction, Russian drone operators are destroying the logistics of the Ukrainian armed forces. An ABI of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Ivanovka on the Seversk direction was destroyed by an FAB 3000 of the UMPK.
Кто потерял вкусняшку? Полторачку.
The footage shows the arrival of the Russian FAB 1500 close to the Ukrainian armed forces' positions in the woods. This time, however, the FAB bomb did not explode.
Охренеть, конечно.
The Russian Air Force blew up Ukrainian positions with FAB bombs.
Нихуя себе взрыв.
No location given. The epic explosion of the Ukrainian Armed Forces ammunition depot. A Ukrainian Armed Forces vehicle drives over a mine. A powerful explosion occurs. In the Konstantinovka area, the Russian Air Force struck Ukrainian positions with FAB bombs. One of Ukraine's most expensive tanks, the T-72M1, was scrapped after successive attacks by Russian fiber optic drones, Prince Vandal of Novgorod. A few weeks later, the T-72M1 tank appears again in the drone's camera. It is now burnt out and almost destroyed. Near the village of Dilievka, not far from Toretsk, Ukrainian UAV control points and positions were destroyed by the FAB 500. Destruction of means of communication, REB and air repeaters on the approach to Konstantinovka. Russian warplanes destroyed various Ukrainian armed forces equipment using fiber optic drones. In the footage released yesterday, Russian infantry forces clashed with a large number of Ukrainian bunkers at close range. During the clashes, improvised explosive devices were thrown into the bunkers. Anti-tank mines were used to destroy the bunkers. This is a proven method of destroying underground bunkers. Drones are not always an effective method of attack against these underground bunkers. Although artillery is a powerful method, sometimes it is not enough to destroy the bunker. Therefore, firing anti-tank mines into the bunker is an effective method. In the forests of Kharkiv, a Russian FPV drone went for a ride. A long ride ended with a successful outcome. Operators of the 108th Airborne Regiment destroy the 2 S-1 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer of the airborne forces with a fiber-optic FPV UAV in the direction of Zaporizhzhia. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that fighters of the northern troops shot down a Ukrainian Baba Yaga-type hexacopter in the Kharkiv region.
Но без маскировки не вариант вообще. Мне даже искать. У меня прыгает квадратик, находится.
According to TASS correspondent, 10 servicemen of the 23rd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces surrendered in the direction of southern Donetsk. Crews of the Mi-28NM attack helicopter attacked 2 Ukrainian Armed Forces armored vehicles Vikhor-1 in the Russian border zone with missiles. In the Serebryansky forest area, the T-72EA tank used by the armed forces of Ukraine was destroyed by a Russian drone armed with incendiary ammunition with a succession of accurate shots. Artillery crews of the D-27 howitzer of the 30th Govno Esbar destroyed the position of a UAV crew of the armed forces of Ukraine, which was revealed by reconnaissance. The evacuation vehicle that reached the site was also under intense fire.
Внимание, выстрел!
Fiber-optic drone operators of the Russian armed forces destroyed at least 5 units of armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces. These include the following: 3M2A2, Bradley B-MP, Marder 1A3 BMP, M113 APC. Confirmed by objective control data in the video. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. UAV operators of the 43rd Independent Special Forces Company of the 29th Guards Army destroyed a group of Ukrainian Armed Forces infantry and positions near the village of Bogatyr. In the direction of Pokrovsk, Russian tanks opened fire on the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces one by one. Reconnaissance drones monitor the tank fire moment by moment, trying to direct the tanks in the right direction to hit the targets. As a result of the harmonious work of tank and drone units, the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces were destroyed. The Ukrainian armed forces were conducting an offensive in the border area. It was sending infantry to Popovka and Demidovka. However, they suffered many casualties on the ground in these settlements. Russian drone operators and other troops are repelling all attempts of the Ukrainian armed forces to attack. Russian forces repelled the Ukrainian attack attempt on Mariino. This is how a Russian aircraft-type attack drone hit the Ukrainian armed forces position in Chasiv Yar. Aircraft-type drones with powerful ammunition carry out impressive attacks on designated targets. In the Pokrovsk direction, the 255th Regiment continues to strike the equipment of the Ukrainian armed forces. Fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod was used in these attacks. After an accurate hit, the armored personnel car lost its rotation. The personnel quickly left the vehicle and hid under the trees.